says if he had the chance, Kurt should be GFA president till God decides to call him. Well, the script has flipped in a wild manner. His team is at the center of the storm, and he says that he regrets ever putting his dime in Ghana football. How times change. We'll talk about that. The Nations League is happening, but what is happening is that it is it is almost like reading your manifesto or proving yourself one more time for the Ballon d'Or award. The optics, the football, everything has been really crazy. Yamin Lamar has been putting on the show, and Ousmane Dembele, since winning the Champions League, I thought he was competing at Roland Garros because he's been in and out of the tournament the whole week. He's been carrying the trophy by the ears. He's been doing presses. He's been all over the place.
Hanging with the players.
I'm shocked. Ousmane Dembele has been up to quite a bit. We will try and justify who deserves this award and why. And then we'll touch a little bit on Kim Las Bjorkegren, because the GFA made us understand that the Black Queens were already an established setup when Nora Hutla did the great things she did. And I was on shows where FA representatives downplayed her achievements completely and said that, well, Nora, this team existed before she took over. She didn't do anything extraordinary. She didn't do anything we've not done before. We have seen Kim Las Bjorkegren's first couple of games in charge as well. We will compare and see if we can make some sense out of that as well. 0549-986-996 0549-986-996. You can also get to us on YouTube, Citi Sports GH. Hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, Sports Panorama is live. Obviously, being a holiday, being a Friday, being a Hihirios day, the rabbi must set the tone, on a very vacation-like, manner. So he's prepping up with the Ododonkpo, to give us a little something. But just so he before he goes on with the press, I just want people to know.
I know Kofi Adams will feature in the prayer.
Oh, he has to.
I know Kofi Adams will feature in the prayer.
Ange Postecoglou has been sacked by Spurs, so that will feature heavily here as well. No more.
Bosu.
Daniel Levy has spoken. Ronaldo and Yamal have a date. Kwame, who was expressing love for
Ghana football is in safe hands.
Okay.
When we were demonstrating to tell people like Dr. Kwame
in that hot sun,
yes, Dr. Kwame Che, together with his spokesperson, they were organizing. He was sponsoring people to organize a counter demonstration.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy both way. Dr. Kwame Che, you are not going anywhere. Ghana football is in safe hands. You play.
I will arrest this.
I say he's arrested.
You are arrested. Kwame arrested.
Ghana football is called sample.
Look, you was Zebaut. When I saw Anima, when I can Barkali Sanla, you are one dabushing. Wakashida Jono Jomo Ghana Mena Chongo Nyeme Ninje Barika de Sanla ne Solomon na me soleke hamane yo wake chon wanyeme ninje Barika de Sanla Chome no kono Joma ne Manele to hey she ye bogbele na keboy wale na he Jomo ke he jole jiwo no Jomo ke jole jiwo no. You was about one Dr. Kwame Chamber here. A Ghana football letter don. E adumo so much to me. Beni won you no kwale. E adumo so much to me. ni eke ehye komito square Ketokroku by FA president Kashina no and ebi yo was about below than they are declare na can only declare that be ebi is about be no when ni aketwetwa abalumi ale na agba trade we ni edofo na okay kwami che ko twa de nche oba twa nye be ko ya yi okay kan de boachi ansa nye be ko ya be ni wo won ke man bi everything was clear. Ake Ghana football FT Ketokroku FT Ghana football is highly compromised. Dr. Kwamiche, we needed people like you to support us to make our claim that Ketokroku has destroyed Ghana football. No one supporting Kennedy Boachansa Ghana Football Association journalists. Ghana football is in safe hands. Indeed, yes, Subami is in safe hands. Indeed, it's in safe hands. Dr. Komite, indeed, Ghana football is in safe hands. But trust with that no by election. Wakale benomo imwemo. Oh, Charlie, wakale benomo. Jokeres. Wakale benomo kejeche. Wo play ajiame. Oh, Charlie, kunye bashia. Wakale benomo. You are Jomo man, you shit tower.
Oh, Jomo.
I'll forget say no ke Jomo te yana you was about no black Jomo ke je when man lami no ke ba de kwa sati me. Lami ya ma legbe kenimo. She ball le twa. Oh. You hana no kwale. Oni bo ni bo. Han ball le twa. Ball le twa. Ni bo. Osmo small lami ya ma ball le twa. Jomo le. Na anna me ye kwame anna mi ye ko itawo oto awo ye 40 years okay gbeke 70 years so ya play boy yo ye ni gbeke anna mi she mi no ni amini straight bullet ya ye ni gbeke anna mi she bullet
God reject this prayer
oh ye 40 years gbeke na 70 years mi no kele play oy
reject this prayer
yes ba mi ye Jehovah Zebaoth ba mi la mi yama ba dum na ni no ni ba twa pa ahanspi ene mekani bi piwo bio ye Yesu gba me amen
amen.
What are you rejecting? What are you rejecting?
No, he's saying that the 17
Moko ye 40 years Moko ye 17 years somebody is 40 somebody is 17 40 you have gone go
Your father.
Yeah how can a father be struggling with his grandson
capping off the career in Grand Stars. Let's start off on a transfer note. Please give me my Don't Call Me Sick tune in a bit. I will be getting into a few transfers in a bit because that is where all the juice is and that is where all the action is. I am checking up my transfer notes, but those of you who are just joining us, so probably brought to us by MasterCard, Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix, Royal Kingdom Estate, Blue Jinx Energy drink. So Sports Panorama is live and airborne. You can get to us on YouTube at Citi Sports GH. Hit the like and subscribe button. A lot to chew on, to be honest. The transfer gurus have been going crazy. David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano been going at it, but I would like to start on a very Ghanaian note. So the Ghanaian transfer big news is that Kudus Mohammed has received a £120 million offer from the Saudi state or from the Saudi league. I think the teams being mentioned are Al Hilal and Al Nassr. The reports coming out is that Kudus is not interested in moving to the Gulf, and that Chelsea Football Club have also been offered the opportunity to sign Kudus Mohammed. Now we are hearing that it will cost Chelsea in excess of £70 million to bring the Ghanaian to the bridge. Coach, let me start off with you on this note, but before I start off with you, drop the tune for me.
It's Don't Come Time. Lakawo, it's Don't Come Time.
It's Don't Come.
Also, it's Don't Come Time. One place, mate, for sale, one ton cheap. Don't come you, don't come me. We dey loan this player $1,000. Don't come you, don't come me. For the striker we can consider. Don't come you, don't come. We know they see you use Team Naboka. Don't come you.
So goals are Sansa Torres. Now on time she goes a prince of goals. Now on one yard drinks a Tevez. And then your coach one come at home. Donda also.
Don't call me, yo, don't call me.
Let's go. It's don't call me time.
Don't call me, yo, don't call me.
It's don't call me time.
Don't call me, yo, don't call me.
Catch that.
Tina Boka. Don't call me, yo, don't call me.
Catch that. It's don't call me time.
Yep, when I start off the show with Don't Call Me, you know the transfer block is hot. Coach, you have heard the juice on Kudus.
Yeah.
Ghanaians say not to take the money, but you are playing for money, take the money and go. Some people say he has shown ambition by deciding to stay in Europe. Do you think that Chelsea will make the bold move and make a bid?
Do I want Kudus to leave West Ham? Yes.
But no Chelsea.
Do I want him to go to Saudi Arabia? No. We've had the discussion here before. And my stand still remains that I think he's too young to go there. If it's about the money, he can stay in Europe and make good money. It's about how much money do you call good money, or do you classify as good money?
How much is too much money?
That is it.
Too much.
So for me,
shout to medical.
I don't want him to go to Saudi Arabia.
Medical, I salute you.
So I was happy when I heard that he's turned down the move to go to Saudi. Because at the end of the day, we watch that league. It's a league of Entebbe players. Entebbe.
You're serving someone.
Why are we starting the show like this?
No, I'm describing the league. It's the league.
Hold on.
So I think Daddy is playing with
The league that has Milinkovic Savic.
Milinkovic,
Saint Maximin.
When Milinkovic Savic, when he was playing in Europe, look at his body structure. Now look at him. It's like a bread that has been put in water. Look at them. No, look at how those. Look at Sadio Mane.
Kante is still going strong.
Igolo Kante, where else can he play? Unless he goes there. How old is Igolo Kante? No
Fabinho, Benzema.
These are all Duades. They are all old Duades. All the people you are calling.
John Duran.
Oh, as for that boy, he doesn't have vision in football. He's about the money, so that's why he's gone there. Believe you me, 2 years he will come. That's why his contract
is 3 years.
3 years so that he can come back.
Ivan Toney is doing well.
Oh, Ivan Toney, no, he's now 30 years plus. He's
still an elite striker.
No, an elite striker, Ivan Toney.
The Premier League clubs are looking at him.
It's not about penalty shootout, though. It's not penalty shootout.
Let's don't do this.
Tony used to score.
So are you saying that if Ivan Toney descended into your Manchester United, he can't give you 10, 15
goals? We are talking about
goals?
Victor Gyökeres, somebody who score with chicken ease, not Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney,
it's okay. Stay on the point.
So the point I'm making is that I was overjoyed when I heard that Kudus' team, together with the young man, said, "No, this is not the time for Saudi Arabia." Look, I said it some weeks ago. That when it's time, I'll be the first person to say, "No more Beshe, Yana Koche, no Bachian. Yana Koche, no Bachian." My only worry here is that the young man himself last season was far below par. Far below. Is he worth 70, 75, 80, 85 million?
It's still been enough to attract interest from Chelsea.
No, he's been offered to Chelsea.
In a swap deal. That's the caveat too. In a swap deal. So Graham Potter used to coach Brighton and Hove Albion. And Robert Sanchez was at Brighton and Hove Albion, and he excelled. And so now Chelsea are looking to offload him. And Graham Potter is comfortable to work with him per the report.
That's right.
So
they offered money plus
plus Robert Sanchez for Kudus. Because at the end of the day, you look at Chelsea, they could do with Mohamed Kudus, because Modric, his future, you just don't know.
West Ham have rejected that. They offered another deal involving Kenan Dewsbury Hall and money again for Kudus. West Ham said they should go out.
That's right. So for me, the evaluation of the player based on performance is what I have a problem with. But he's Ghanaian. Hey, if they can spend 85 million pounds on him, I'll be happy. But is he, based on what we saw last season, is he an 85 million pound player? No, he's not.
No, 3 years on his contract.
Absolutely not. Maybe that is why
that's why
it's going where it is.
Just on his deal.
But having said that, nobody doubts the quality of that young man. Look, if he's on his A game in Nketsia, he will deal with anybody. If Kudus is on his A game, he will deal with it. So in fact, Chelsea themselves will be playing the Champions League. That is the sort of competition I want Kudus to play in. And he's good because he's played in there before. And we saw him when he was at Ajax. when he played in the Champions League, how good he was. I mean, he came to Anfield, showed a bit more audacity and courage and confidence, and scored a beautiful goal at Anfield. I want to see the Ghanaian play in the big game as we speak. The only Ghanaian who is playing in the Champions League and controlling affairs is Thomas Partey. And I want Mohamed Kudus to join him in that party so that he'll be part of the
I like what you did there.
Yes. The only Ghanaian playing in the Champions regular is Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
And I want
Kudus
Mohamed
to join him in
the party.
Oh,
So that they will all party and party.
Oh,
go.
Rhyming.
So the people at Chelsea, if they have the money, they should go and pay. It's a move I don't commit. If you look at this Chelsea's set, the over reliance on Cole Palmer to make things happen through the middle. I mean, if there's Kudus, you don't need Jadon Sancho. No wonder they've sacked him. You understand? If you are Chelsea and you can get Kudus, Kudus clearly will be an upgrade on Madueke and Co. Madueke, when he's running, he bowed down his head as if he's the only person on the pitch. Kudus will raise his head and pick the pass. Kudus will dribble and there will be an end product to his game. So it's a move I don't commit, and I can only hope that they will try and go to the people at West Ham and bring in an offer that they will accept. As for Graham Potter, I'm grateful for him trying to think in the manner in which he's thinking, that he wants to bring back Sanchez, because Chelsea themselves are trying to take your goalkeeper. You remember this man's team goalkeeper? They are seriously on the heels of, they are scouting on in fact they are ready to offer between AC Milan
25-30 million.
Yeah, they want 25-30 million.
I thought that's.
But why shouldn't Man United be moving to him?
I thought that's
contract.
1 year. There's only 1 year on his. There's only 1 year.
Man United should make a move for him.
Man United are interested in the
Emiliano Martinez.
He's
but he costs a lot of money.
He's a very good goalkeeper.
I want you to go and buy Diogo Costa instead.
Which of them?
Porto and Portugal.
We don't have money. That ball, that ball will cost over 70 million.
There's Cash FC.
No. You see, the work to be done. If we can get Martinez,
You are thinking goalkeeper is
excessive.
yes. If you can get Martinez around 30 million, pay his how old is it? 29, 30, 31.
Yeah.
He has his.
Still much in his prime for
Yes.
goalkeeper.
Isn't Martinez like 32? Let me
Check.
check.
Let me just check.
Man United bought Van der Sar when he was 35 years.
I'm not saying that. I'm just
So
saying
even if he's 32, he can come in and do a decent job for the next 5
Yeah,
years.
he's 32 exactly.
32, so he can come in, do a decent job at least for the next 4 years until he's 36.
But Manuel is even younger.
Manuel, he's 29, soon to be 30.
Yeah.
So if Chelsea are really bent on getting him, they should go and accelerate the Kudus deal and take Kudus from that.
So you don't commit a Kudus move to Chelsea.
Simple. Look, it will give him Champions League football. It will make him even more serious. He will come and he will run. He will not be walking on the pitch where he loses the ball. We need him to be playing at the very high level because the World Cup is just in front of us and we need him to be at his very best.
On point. Let me take your thoughts on that, Mr. Graham.
So
Kudus to the golf.
Oh, you know me. I'm very economic when I think about these moves. I disagree with coach slightly. I understand what coach is saying, that the league is not great, the quality is not there. I get it.
No, it's in table league.
No, I get
Farmers, Mason,
camel headers. There's a traders. You understand? But me, I
can't believe
the way I see it, your football career is short. This opportunity might not come again. Because you never know what happened. Coach, I understand, but I'm saying God forbid an injury. Something happens, the opportunity might not come. So I believe you take when God gives you something like this, you take it with both hands and your feet. You understand? Because this money is not even just you and your children and your grandchildren. This one is. We'll be talking about Kudus' great grandchildren. They'll be driving Rolls Royce and things with this type of money. You understand? This is generational.
And I think people need to understand this is tax-free money.
Tax-free.
And you see, Kudus is Muslim, so he's not one of those guys I think will have
culture shock.
No, he will settle.
Exactly. So I see it as a job. I understand what coach is saying. Like, we want him play at the highest level, and so I see these things. They are doing a job. They are not playing for fun. Charlie, they are playing for money.
Somebody just called Saudi League the Attire and Jalabia League.
It's a perfect. So me, Anthony Amu. So me, better behave yourself. I agree with you. Attire and Jalabia.
Personally, I prefer he went to Saudi. I prefer he went to Saudi over Chelsea. That's my personal opinion. The Chelsea move to is a good move, but I prefer he goes to what's that place? Saudi over Chelsea.
Because of the money.
Oh yeah. I want. You see, this job they're doing is work.
Yeah.
Because you've changed schools recently.
The man too is working. At least
when you change your job, you know.
Do you know why I don't commit this move to the golf? I'll tell you why. When Baba Rahman got the chance to go to Chelsea, a lot of things were said. He won't get playing time. He'll be buried on the bench. It will ruin his career. Look, the kind of money Baba Rahman earned at Chelsea, right? I think that money was good enough for him to say, I won't even play football again. And that's the kind of money that has held him up, because since that Chelsea contract ended, he's not going to any proper team. He's gone to PAOK. He's gone to which team again? He went to Reading. Yeah, but even at Reading, those Chelsea was paying wages. Yeah. So PAOK, they don't have money. So when you get and Baba Rahman, since he suffered that cruciate ligament injury, it's been downhill for him, and no big contracts have come his way again. So I really understand where you're coming from. If you are Kudus Mohammed, I mean, it depends on the kind of money they give me.
I get it. The prestige is not there. Yeah. There's definitely the prestige. The prestige is non-existent.
There's a tendency for you to be forgotten.
Exactly, but you see, Black Stars will pick him.
Thank you.
Can we say we won't pick him if he's playing in Saudi? Truly, can we say we won't pick him? We found our captain playing in Qatar.
No, at the time the baby jet went to Qatar.
No. Andrea, you was also in Qatar.
Where is he?
Yeah, but that's my point. We had captains who were playing in Qatar.
Andrea went there when he was.
Fair enough.
But even as Samoa Jan too.
It's about the mentality of the player. Yeah. Baby jet, when he went there, he was strong in mentality. Even when he was playing there, that was when he came.
That's when he gave us his best.
Yeah. But this man, even you see, you cannot be sure of. Yeah. Kudus's maturity. Yeah. That's why some of us don't want him to go.
That one is fair, but me, it's a job, Charlie.
It's a don't come in for you.
What makes me happy is not important. What makes him happy is important.
I get
and me, I know money makes everybody happy.
So I like that. Yeah, you get the final word on the Kudus one before we move it on.
Oh yeah, the Kudus bit. I like the fact that he resisted the urge to go to Saudi, at least for now.
Yeah, for now.
For now, yes, he resisted the urge to go to Saudi for now. I think if I were Kudus, I'll just give myself 1 or 2 years at the elite level and see how things work out. If I can't get a move to, let's say, a Barcelona or a Man United or maybe a Chelsea,
like a top 6 club,
no, forget about top 6, top 3.
Are you sure you'll be back at that table?
Oh, I mean, Man United is still big. Man United is still big.
Talking about playing in the Champions League. Talking about playing in the Champions League.
We are qualified for the Champions League.
But Man United, okay.
But you gave us assurances before the Europa.
Yes, don't worry. For the qualification, there is a done deal.
Yeah, so just give yourself a couple of years, 2 years max, to be able to get a move to, let's say, a Barcelona or an Arsenal, because they also need a ball juggler. Or a Man United, a big club. If you can't get it and it looks like your career has stalled, and there's interest from that side of the world, then you make that move. Then you make that move, but not now. Just because your career so far, let's be honest, at the top level has been up and down. Your first season, brilliant breakthrough season at West Ham. The next season, not so well. So if, let's say, he doesn't move now, by staying at West Ham, and his third season at West Ham, he excels, then a big move comes, then he goes. But if he doesn't excel next season at West Ham, and there's still some strong interest from that side of the world, then he can start thinking of making a move, especially after Ghana is potentially goes to the World Cup. He needs to go. We need to go to the World Cup. If we go to the World Cup and he shines bright like he did in Qatar 2022, and still that big move doesn't come, let's say on the back of an excellent season next campaign, in this upcoming campaign, plus a World Cup brilliant run, and the move still doesn't come, then that's when you need to start thinking of making a move over to the Gulf. But at this point in time, no. I'm a bit more interested in the move to Chelsea. That swap deal. I think it will be great for Chelsea, because Yes, beyond Cole Palmer.
Yep.
Someone to create through that middle is a bit difficult, and Kudus can play as a false 9 too, and he can play.
Doesn't create a lot of chances.
Yeah, look, and you need a ball juggler. That's the main thing. Someone who can run with the ball, someone who can beat defenders. And
Don't they have that in Neto lefty? Isn't his game very similar to Kudus?
I think Neto is more like Neto, as in beating a player 1-on-1. Not so much.
Kudus start definitely puts him in the top.
Yeah, because last season he completed the most dribbles in Europe, and this season in the EPL he also completed the most dribbles. And so
wasn't he second?
No, he was joint top with Jeremy Doku. Yeah, with 90.
Which is crazy, even in
a bad season.
I think the one I saw he was second, but we all know that he's top 10 every season. That one.
No, top 10, top 3.
I'm just saying he's top 10.
Yeah, so
was our Ajax 2? He was
saying
exactly.
So exactly. So you need a player like that in your team, especially when you generally struggle to create chances, and that's why the Arsenal angle also comes in. That they also really need to have a good look at him, to be able to lessen the creativity. Dependency on Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard. This season, Martin Odegaard really didn't excel like that, and we saw how Arsenal generally struggled to create chances. And so for me, yeah, he's also a guy that they should really have a look at. If they can also get involved in the swap deal, potentially, yeah, that should be fine.
Let me talk about,
but not to go to Saudi now. No. I agree with him. I agree with him perfectly.
Ataya and Jalabia League.
Yeah,
I've heard it all.
Actually, that's a perfect description. Even the Intebe crowd was good, but this one, Ataya
and Jalabia League. I can't believe this. Anyway, let us go to more. Let's stay with Chelsea. Liam Delap.
Yeah.
Your Liam Delap.
Yes, I told you mean Delap.
The player you wanted.
No, the player who wanted.
Chelsea have activated his release clause, £30 million for the 22-year-old striker. Does this solve their goal-scoring issues? I'm throwing that question around.
He looks sharper than Jackson in terms of finishing, but I don't believe his all-round game is there yet. So I'm wondering whether it's like, now you have a different problem. You have a guy who finishes chances, but your all-round and general play is not going to be as good.
Do we need strikers to have all-round play?
In this modern day, yes.
Unless you're a team like Man City, where you can just feed
Erling Haaland.
Like you have the setup that if you are even playing, your 10 men can basically feed the striker. Because look at Man City. Ederson can play some long ball to Haaland. Everybody can feed him. You get what I'm saying? So in that situation, if Haaland can combine and things, it's not a big deal. But with Chelsea, I'm not, because we are just talking about how their wingers were not that impressive. So are we sure those wingers will be giving him the chances? Coach was just talking about Madueke. He doesn't pass enough. He's selfish. He makes the wrong decisions. All those things.
Pedro Neto's head is always down.
Exactly. So when you have all of those things, we are saying that these wingers are not up to scratch. If you bring a striker who's more of a finisher, you need to have the infrastructure behind him to create those chances for him to finish. So if we don't believe that Chelsea's wingers are up to scratch, this is the debate. I don't have too much of a problem with them.
I like Madueke as a player.
I don't have too much of a problem with them. But I'm just saying that they are not on the level of prime Man City when this guy Erling Haaland joined, where we knew that they would just put the ball into the box and he doesn't have to do anything. I don't think Liam Delap can get away with 8 touches and he'll score 3 goals. I won't see that happening. But Haaland can do that. So for me, I feel is one step forward, one step back, because you've solved one part of the Jackson dilemma, but you've not solved that. But now the good things Jackson brings, you don't have them anymore. So and for me, 2 project strikers doesn't make sense. They should have gone for someone Finch. I believe they should have gone for Goycoris.
Hold on.
Or something.
So let me look at numbers, right? Very durable striker. Played 37 matches in the Premier League. Scored 12 goals and had 2 assists. Got 12 yellow cards. That's crazy.
Another thing Jackson also does a lot.
Yeah. Coach, Susu just said something. I just want to ask something. First of all, if you think he's an upgrade, or if you think even the 2 of them can play together.
Let me even just tell you something. His pass completion last season was 61%. And he attempted 12 passes a game.
Wow. That's
cool. So this is the issue. In fact, I was very happy. I prayed. I danced. I thank God that the guy went to Chelsea and not Manchester United. In fact, I call that Wilcox man who was pushing because he had worked with Delap when they were both at Manchester City, pushing for Manchester United to buy him. Fundamentally, these were my reasons why I was against that. One, he's still a learner. He's not a finished product.
Yep.
How old is he? 22 years?
22.
He's had only one relatively
Good season.
good average season
At the top level.
at the top level.
12 goals, 2 assists, 37 games.
So
You understand?
14 goal contributions.
14 goals, once.
Yeah. The previous season, he played just 1 game.
That's what I'm saying. This is
his
first
breakout
proper season. And for you to bring him into the Chelsea fold and hand over the goal scoring responsibility to him, what is the guarantee that he can handle the pressure? Look, in fact, I was shocked when Chelsea actually acted. I was praying Man U.
Maybe he's cheap.
That's not. Maybe that is because of that.
Maybe you think that if he doesn't work out, we can cut our losses.
So who would he learn from?
Good question.
Who is he going to? Because there are times where, look, this is Rasmus Højlund's biggest problem. He's put on in front of the line, lead the line as a young chap, 22 years old, and he's receiving the fire every week. One would have thought that if Manchester United had an experienced striker, they would say, Rashford, come and sit down and watch.
Typically,
there are times you
want
sit
a veteran to
and
mentor.
watch. Watch Osimhen. Watch Gyökeres. Watch this person. Look at what he does. Who is the lab going to learn that from? Nicholas Jackson. He's not a number 9. He's been more or less improvising or doing his bit to make sure Chelsea benefit from him. I don't think they've solved their goal scoring problem. He's a young chap. He may start the season well. But typical of them at that age, they will undulate. Their performances will go up and down. Can you imagine the lab going 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, 9, 10, not scoring for Chelsea? When the pressure starts coming at his age, has he what it takes to actually handle the pressure? No. You may say he's one for the future, but if you are bringing in one for the future, who's going to teach him his trade? Somebody should be there. So for me, it's a move I don't commit to Chelsea. You understand what I'm saying, isn't it? My issue here is that if I don't like you, I don't like you. Whatever you do for me to be happy, that is what I will support. So this is one of the moves that Chelsea themselves have done, for which I am overly satisfied that they've prevented Manchester. Because if he had gone to United, it's him and Rasmus, same age. Who would have taught who? Who would be learning from who?
2 projects.
You don't need that. As it stands, Arsenal is moving towards Sesko. United has got only one destination. That is Victor Gyökeres. So don't come in the lab. Don't come into Chelsea. I don't come in the lab move. Chelsea supporters, what a topmost striker. Damn, man. 1-2 slap Atina. 1-2 slap Atina. Is this the Champions League strike? This is the striker you are taken to the Champions League to go and solve your problem. We are here. We'll see how it goes.
Hopefully, I think Chelsea might just buy another striker.
Where? From who?
I don't know, but I don't know.
Look, anyway, the boy at Frankfurt, Ekitike, he most likely will go to Liverpool. Then Osimhen, I'm just reading on my phone that El Hilal has come back. They have improved the offer. Just some few minutes ago, meaning that Fabrizio meaning that he's likely to go to the what? To the Ntebe, Attire and Jalabia, Eakochi. So Victor Gyökeres,
Champions League no they buy
there's
Gary for
only one.
market.
There's only one
Osimhen.
destination.
I don't come with the move.
Let me again, final one on Chelsea before I move it on. They say we don't talk about them, so today I'm giving them their time.
They say we don't talk about them.
Yeah,
In a positive way too.
Talk to me about don't mind it.
We talk about them. I'm saying that we talk about them. They just don't like what we say.
Exactly.
That's what
Talk
it
to
is.
me about Dario Esugo to Chelsea.
Charlie.
Because now they have like 5 DMs in their team.
That's my like.
What are they doing?
They are telling us that there's a plan, but half the players they buy they don't use. Is that a plan? Is that a good use of money? If you spend £1 billion, nearly £2 billion, and we are here saying that your goalkeeper is not good enough, your striker is not good enough, what did you spend the money on? You bought 8 DMs. How many DMs do you play on a pitch? So this one
and the guy from Andre Santos, I believe, had a really good season with Strasbourg in the French Ligue 1. I'm wondering if he gets.
But I can see him coming to be a backup, box to box, do different things for their midfield because he has that goal scoring instinct. You see how Declan Rice does for us now. We thought he was a DM, but he showed that he's more of an 8. Maybe Andre Santos can do something like that because he has the goals in him. So clearly, just sitting in front of the defense is not everything to him. So I can understand bringing Andre Santos in, but they have Ugochukwu, this.
Chukwuemeka.
They have so the DMs they have Dario Sugo, they have Andre Santos, they have Caicedo, they have Lavia, they have I would say even the Argentine international
Enzo Fernandez,
and then they have one more person. Who's one more person? Like
it's
6
a
of
lot.
them.
It's like the most I can understand anyone buying for a position is 4 players. You buy your, I guess,
6 to 8.
Yeah.
Naturally, they can go.
They can play
both or a middle 3. You can use 3 of them at a go.
People who are more defensive, if you buy 3 in your team,
it's okay.
It's okay. Then maybe one on loan that you are developing to see how far and things. I mean,
you buy as many as 6.
Come on.
Okay, let's talk about Brian.
Just a quick one on the Liam Delap.
Just to say, it's not that he's a bad player. I'm sure I saw some stats from him that he has a lot of interceptions, that kind of stuff.
He should have gone to Man United.
He seems like a decent player, but I just feel going to Chelsea, then they'll send him to Strasbourg. Then if it doesn't work out, there's just
because I'm guessing even
the queue is very
Ugochukwu is going to be shipped out.
Maybe they'll make a profit on some of these players.
So that's the plan.
The economics of it is
that's the plan.
But playing wise.
Yeah, just a quick one on the Liam Delap. I mean, you look at the Chelsea striking situation. I mean, behind Nicholas Jackson, there isn't much because Nkunku game in Magui is likely going to be shipped out, and so you need someone to come in and replace those 2 guys because Nkunku is bound to leave. And so once you bring in Liam Delap, you've checked the box on depth. And in terms of upgrade, is he an upgrade on the backups that were at Chelsea this past season? Yes, he is an upgrade on Nkunku and Magui. And the bit about the instant production, I think that's the only bit that doesn't necessarily check the box fully, because you are projecting that he scored 12 goals in 37 games for Ipswich, a team that doesn't necessarily create the most chances or the clearest of chances, and they still managed to get in double figures. So if he's going to be playing for Chelsea and he's going to be playing ahead of a guy like Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez can chip in an assist or 2, and despite the fact that their wingers, they aren't necessarily wingers who create the most in terms of assists, they can chip in an assist here or there. And so you are just projecting like, if he scored 12 goals at Ipswich, then it's likely he could end up scoring like 15 goals in the league for Chelsea. And as a quote-unquote backup, that's more than good enough for £30 million. Looking at the economics in today's world football. And so it looks like it just passes the mark. I think I'll give it a 7/10. It's not the best signing out there, but at the end of the day, he's more than an average signing. And so I'll give it a 7/10.
I'll do a little statistical math to just estimate how many he'll score, because he scored 12 goals on 9 xg. That's the idea. So you can assume that for whatever xg you get, you score 25% more. Let's just make it simple. And this guy, what's his name? Nicholas Jackson got 12 xg last season. So maybe the lap will score 16 goals.
Possible.
Yeah, so 15, like I said, 15, 16. Yeah, that should be good enough.
Yeah. Let me know the jersey number he has gone for.
That's the case number. Well, number 9. Franco Di Santo wore that number. You remember Franco Di Santo?
Steve Sidwell. Do you remember Steve Sidwell?
That number was doing fun.
And Crespo.
Until Drogba came, whoever came to challenge, akewo klado wa mi, akaklado kwe klado wa na nana. Achafon, Cote d'Ivoire show me. Since then, nobody has survived.
Do you remember Franco Di Santo at Chelsea? This Franco Di Santo. Yeah. Number 9.
Let me move it on and let's go to Man United's camp and
Fernando
talk about
Torres.
Brian Mbeumo to United. Now, United have made a bid of 45 million plus 10 million in add-ons for Mbeumo. Brentford said they should get out with their nonsense bid and come back with a bid around 65 to 70. Now,
how much did they pay for Cunha?
60 million, I believe.
62.
Now, I'm hearing that United are also ready to quadruple his salary. He's holding out for something in the region of £250,000. The club say that should not be a problem. The salary should not be a problem. The bigger problem with this deal is the clubs agreeing a transfer fee. I think
because of the
add-ons, will land on like 200,000.
180. 180 wale. Wale wakala gbe no mo wa wi fe no mo ba boli. How wemo de. Look, Nketsia. He scored 20 goals in the league. He's a proven Premier League.
In fact, let me give you the numbers. So
I know you love him.
2022-2023. 38 matches played, 9 goals scored, 8 assists.
That's right.
2023-2024. 25 matches played fewer matches than that, still scored 9 goals, still got 6 assists.
Now go day.
This season, the season just gone by, 38 matches played. He played every game of the season.
He's durable.
Scored 20 goals and dropped 7 assists.
Now go day. He should just come and give us 15.
So he's been getting better.
He should just give us 15
goals.
Give us 10 assists. Matthias Cunha, another 15. Another 10 assists. Victor Gyökeres, another 20 plus. They just give us 5 assists. Bruno Fernandes, Agbeyomo.
Tell me the real thinking behind United wanting to buy a player like this. He can play as a left back, as a right back, and as a right winger.
Yes, he can also play as a number 10.
Yeah, so you can.
And the Ruben Amorim system needs 2 number 10s.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Victor Gyökeres, Matthias Cunha, Mbeumo, then Bruno Fernandes. Chale! Oba Imameo! Nano Agbenomo Nano. Look, Mbeumo, he's strong. He's powerful. He's skillful. He can score. He can press. He does virtually everything. This is not Garnacho when he's running as if the breeze is blowing him away. So when you push him now, then he falls down. No!
But Garnacho, every time he's running, it's like he's about to fall.
That is it. But with Mbeumo, there is proper balance when he runs. He's stout. The gravitational effect on him is look, it's actually great.
He's stout. Low center of gravity.
Look, I sit here in the studio. You talk about Mbeumo and Wisa all the time.
True.
You admire them.
No, he's a good player.
He's an absolutely brilliant player.
He's
Premier League proven. You just read out the statistics.
But your team has proven.
Amorim is cooking.
Your team is a player killer.
Don't worry. Not under Amorim. He bought Dogu. I said Dogu didn't come for preseason, but the Dogu I saw in the last month of the season, when he goes for preseason, he'll be better.
Okay.
Matthias Cunha, Premier League proven. Mbeumo, Premier League proven. He said, "Give me my striker, Gyökeres." We will be playing every 7 days. So every 7 days we'll be playing. Go to Europe. When you come, Todre, go and come. Todre. Look, I don't commit the Mbeumo move. 100%. because of what he brings to the party.
Okay.
Party.
No, he's come to party.
Party.
Speed, goal scoring,
Everything guaranteed.
assist,
Everything guaranteed.
positional versatility.
Everything guaranteed.
Oh, Charlie.
There's no doubt anywhere. He ticks every box. All the boxes.
Check.
Ticked.
Check.
Just tick them with ease. In fact, check ease.
Check.
You know what I like, Benomo?
Lord.
The first bid that was rejected, we know it will end up at 60. Just before coming to
And I hear the salary structure, like you rightly said, is between
180,
200K to 150K.
Just before coming to the studio, Fabrizio has tweeted United is going in with a second bid. Most likely will be the final
It looks
bid.
like the bid
Most likely will be the
because
final.
apparently the other team's interested, but I think his preference is
No, he told them, Newcastle. We have a Newcastle. Arsenal, but I can try Arsenal and try Newcastle. There's only one home for me. That is my proper home, and that is Old Trafford. So he's coming home. What like no, my joy. So when we finish with him, you know that the transfer window will close and then it will reopen again.
Yeah, because of the.
When we finish with him, no, give me 2-3 days. Jokeres, what like no.
3 days.
I'll come to that in a bit. Mr. Graham, if you are Man United, why do you need Brian Mbeumo?
I mean, like, he's a versatile player. He can play strike, he can play on the wing. Very solid technically. He scores, he assists. Me, I'm thinking long term because I've said it before.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about the Amorim project personally. So I like him because I'm sure the next coach too can use him. So that's what I like.
It's a Marines players we are buying for him now. He said he needs number 10.
He's 25 years old.
Yeah, Cunha on the left.
Go.
This man on the left. This is no about flash shot.
You are speaking in terms of what, potential resale value.
No resale. The fact is, he's not. You see, you say we are buying players for the system, right?
Yeah, for
I
the
get
system.
that, but you also have to think about the fact that.
But that's the system they play at Brentford. You know that they play a back three. The year we.
Sometimes it's not every time, but my point I'm making is, I'm looking at it in a different, because the way I see it, I don't want, because I know our good friends at Manchester United. I can hear the excuses already.
For
you
what?
didn't get the players.
No, now he said he wanted Cunha. He's gotten Cunha.
gotten him.
He said, "Give me Mbeumo." If you give him Mbeumo, he said, "Go and get me Jokeres." You get him Jokeres, then he gets a midfielder, a goalkeeper. 5. We are buying only 5 players this season. Finish. So top 4.
Okay, that's great. So, coach, are you saying so? Okay, it's
Top
not
4.
The thing has not finished, but I'm just saying that.
Oh, God.
I like the players because anyone can manage them. That's what I like.
Yeah, but they are Premier League proven.
Yeah, so I like anyone can manage
So
them.
you,
That's
you like an
oh,
influence?
anyone. See me. If it was up to me,
Yeah.
Real Madrid would buy Brian Mbeumo. Seriously, that's how much I rate him. Because
He's good.
I think looking at Real Madrid, what they need is a proper right winger who's left-footed, who is willing to do the hard work, track back whilst the defense don't want to run. He's willing to know that, okay, I'm not the star of the team. He can take a back seat. I feel he would have been perfect for them.
Just
But
like
because he's not a star, they won't look at him.
Mbeumo cut his teeth as a defender, like I rightly said. So he started off playing a little left back. He's played some right back, and then under Thomas Frank, he's graduated to playing literally as a right winger and even as a striker.
So Mikel Antonio too.
So and that's my point.
Mikel Antonio
And that's my
vibes.
point. Looking at Real Madrid, he would have been perfect for them, but because he's not a superstar, they are not interested.
They're not looking at. So this is a good move for United.
Yeah, good move.
United have done something that the whole league should be jealous of. Seriously, that's how much I rate him.
Big time player.
Yeah.
Big time player. Let's move the discussion on and let's go to the other side of Manchester. And they have set their eyes on the Dutch midfielder. In fact, he's set to complete his medical. Tijani Reinders. We were just raving about him
Wonderful
during the Euros. Pep Guardiola has gone and made Reinders his player. The deal is done. It's just left with the medical and everything is home and dry. 57 million euros, I believe, is the fixed fee that they are paying for him from AC Milan.
Fantastic.
Add-ons see the deal eventually rising to 70 million. Yeah, let me start off with you on this count. So Reinders to Manchester City. Pep's rebuild is in full swing.
Yeah, I've said this on multiple occasions that they needed a direct Kevin De Bruyne replacement in that Man City fold. Yes, Phil Foden looks the part. Phil Foden looks the part, but when you look at how his season has gone from the heights he reached last season or the season before, it makes you wonder if he can be trusted with that role. And Pep Guardiola, looking at the fact that he has 2 years left on his deal, and it looks like he's likely not to extend that deal after working for what, this is 9th season in the EPL. If he sees out his contract, that would be 11 years. I doubt he will want to extend his contract or renew the contract, and this is likely to be the final years of Pep Guardiola's stay in the English Premier League. And so it's not like you're coming to now baby Phil Foden in that position. You need someone, particularly with the season that they just had, you need someone who can just fill in that slot and give you the production that you need. And ideally, first choice would have been Florian Wirtz, but the money is just putting them off. And so, as a backup, Tijani Reinders, I think, is a perfect replacement for Kevin De Bruyne, knowing very well that he's going to be playing next to Rodri or Nico Gonzalez. I think that's perfect. If you were supposed to play him as that DM, that would have been a bit of a challenge. Though he can play it, but he doesn't excel in that position. Playing him next to a guy like Rodri is the perfect situation, and it would be like Man United having Bruno playing alongside a top level DM, and that's where Man United, per their rebuild that they are doing, that's the major question that they need to answer, because Ugarte didn't show enough in his first season, so there are question marks over there, and Casemiro definitely is not the answer, and so that's where they have an issue. But if Man City can get Tijani Reinders in there, knowing very well that they have Nico Gonzalez in there ready to replace Rodri once Rodri leaves.
Get him in there. He's just left his medical.
Okay, sure. Yes,
so the deal is literally done.
Yes. So now that they have Rodri in the present, and looks like in the near future it's going to be Nico Gonzalez, having a guy like this, it's a wonderful sign. And I expect him to really excel in the English Premier League. So absolutely don't commit.
Coach, talk to me about Reinders. Now, I think Reinders still has not even reached his peak as a player. I think he's still hitting, the height that he could possibly hit as a player. There's a lot to come from him. Why is Pep Guardiola excited about this guy when you watch him? He's, let me see, how old is he? So
I think he's 26, going to 27.
Good. So he's 26 years old exactly. Yeah. His numbers from the Serie A last season: 37 matches played, 10 goals, 4 assists.
I think what he does,
he's a number 8 typically.
What he does, he takes care of the ball very, very well. I think that's one thing that Pep Guardiola, before he signs any player,
loves that attribute.
That attribute is a non-negotiable. He doesn't compromise on that. So once you takes care of the ball, and if you look at Tijani, he's very patient in his approach. Pep needs that. He always insists that, look, be patient, and wait for the right moment. There are times, yes, he wants you to accelerate it, but in accelerating it doesn't mean you should give it away. If you have to quicken it, you have to quicken it with some form of accuracy and precision. What Tijani does is that, like you rightly said, he can do the sort of things that Kevin De Bruyne will do or does.
Can control a game. He can go long. He can do those one-time pass. By the time the ball gets to him, a decision is already made. It's left with the execution, and he's got the courage to just go and then get those things done. And most often than that, he gets it right. If you are bringing such a player into this Manchester City team, you have to look at what Mamouche and Erling Haaland will be looking at. Dogu and that Silvinho boy, you cannot speak a lot about their ability to create and assess. When Dogu is cutting in, he's cutting in to shoot. Silvinho do the same thing. If you put Silvinho in 38 games, his fundamental response, he thinks he needs to cut him and shoot and score. He will just add 10% assists. But with this Tijani guy, what he normally does is he looks to get players in the position for them to score. And I think that is one thing that Pep has looked at, and that is why he's gone in for him. Look, he's a good player. He's a workaholic. When he loses the ball, he tends to work very hard to retrieve it. And again, it fits into whatever Manchester City does under Pep. I really want to see him in the World Club Championship, because once they can get the move sorted, it means they want to take him along. And I want to see
How he will
the
fare.
medical is tomorrow or Sunday.
There you go. So which means they can take him along. So once he gets there, I want to see how. I'm sure Rodri is going to use the World Club Championship to test his battle readiness for next season, and Pep is going to encourage him to do so. I want to see this guy alongside Rodri, alongside Mamouche, and what they would do in the, because take it or leave it, Mamouche is obviously going to be playing behind Erling Haaland, and once he does that, it means he needs to complement the effort in the middle of the pack. Depending on how Pep will use him, then we can see a lot. But look, he's a move I don't come. He's a very, very good player. For the fact that he takes care of the ball very, very well, I would love him in my team, and I think that is a smart.
But just a quick one, per the signings that per this Tijani Rangers signing, and the fact that they are also in for Ryan Aït-Nouri,
They left back from Wolves.
They left back from Wolves. It looks like Pep would, in order to accommodate these guys in his team, in the starting lineup, it looks like he will have to switch to a back three. He has to switch to a back three because you play Rangers alongside Rodri. Yes,
you remember he's done before.
Because I know it's actually a wing.
A wing back. Exactly, and they also need a right wing back because you can't keep on playing Rico Lewis and Matheus Nunes.
No, those guys.
It just doesn't cut it.
I'll walk to him and say, and I understand I had to do a job for the team, but going forward, clearly that cannot be my role in the team.
He has to get a fullback in that position to get them to be able to upgrade.
Let me take Graham's final thoughts. You have watched Rangers probably more than all of us. How good a guy is this guy, and is he capable of owning that starting spot for them? Because they have quite a number of options in midfield.
Oh, very easily. The options in midfield. We saw them this season. Oh, very
they are
easy.
old.
Oh, he starts very
easy.
He and Rodri together will be very nice. I mean, great ball progression. He can dribble. Actually, the only thing I don't like about him is his finishing. Funnily enough, for someone who scored 10 goals, he misses a lot of chances you would think he should score. So I don't like him in the box, but he's a good technical player. I believe his finishing is not great, but he can shoot the ball. So maybe he'll be a bit better taking those shots from a bit farther out. Maybe they kind of cut it back to him. But sometimes, so that's my only frustration. Apart from that, look, elite number 8 type. He's not like a ball winner or anything like that, but he's elite. He gets the ball, he can run with it, he can pass. I saw something like he has the most most line breaking passes in Syria or something like that. So look, this is an elite player, and honestly, I'm more disappointed from the AC Milan side on their fee.
Yeah,
because
I thought they would have sold him for a bigger money.
But the truth
70, 80?
I mean, let me put it this way: we sold Tonali for 70 million, and I believe he's better than Tonali, because when Tonali was going, I was like, fair enough. Feel free.
Yeah.
But this one is more like
Rangers is definitely technically
better. So I'm thinking they should have gotten. Truth be told, it should have been 80-90. But when your club finishes 9th and they're not in the Champions League, you don't have money. Look, we're hearing Theo Hernandez is leaving, Manya is leaving, we're hearing Leao might be going to.
As for Leao,
that is a full rate.
If he looks at what is happening,
he definitely is going to go. But the team looks like they are rebuilding.
If I was him, and I'm looking at them and they are selling. First, it's not even they're selling. They're confusion, because look, you bought a right back in Emerson Royale, right? By January, you're trying to get rid of him. You brought Kyle Walker. You bought a striker in Morata. By January, you sent to Galatasaray and bought another striker. This is a confused team.
Very, very confused.
You finished 9th, so there's no European football. You're just sitting there. And now you are selling all once, and Theo, and he plays very well with Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez is about to leave, not really, but we are hearing that he will stay and run down his contract. It's a mess. They sacked Maldini, as a whole thing, so the club is in a complete state. The only reason Leao is probably not pushing too hard for a move is because, if you remember, he owed Sporting Lisbon about 20 million euros, and the club paid for him. So he feels some kind of debt to the club. I believe that's the only reason he hasn't said he wants to leave too, seriously. Because every indication is that he should not be there. He's too talented, and they've wasted too much of his time, in my opinion. Too much of his time, because every time you see him having to do everything for the team. And people underrate him. I've been watching him in Syria. I don't think Kvicha Kvaratskhelia is better than him. But look at now that he's going to PSG, how everyone is talking about him and stuff. That could have been Leao if we had serious people at the club surrounding him with good talents. But so I'll be very happy if he goes to Bayern and he wins things. And maybe people will actually appreciate how good he is. Because AC Milan, there's not going to happen for him. So for his sake, he should go. Because I love my club, but I'm not happy when my club holds players back and they should suffer. Why? Because of some idiot Americans are misrunning their club. Then you should suffer and lose your career. No, seriously.
Hand it down.
Is that how to run? You come and you take over a team that just won the league, and look at where you've taken the team.
Yeah.
Look at where
Everything about them is bad.
Yeah.
Those American owners. Everything about those running AC Milan.
Honestly,
AC Milan.
And the reason they sacked Maldini said you need to spend more money to compete, and they say that we don't like your advice, so go.
They are doing salary captains.
They managed to they finally turn their profits. Congratulations. Take your profits.
Let me just do a few roundups and then we'll go to some other stuff. So a quick one is that Arsenal's Jorginho has completed a move to Flamengo.
He's gone to Brazil.
In Brazil. So that is one.
He'll be at the Club World Cup.
Yes, so there's that. And then we talk about Arsenal again. They say that they are speeding up the momentum to get Benjamin Sesko. 70 million pounds. Slovenian striker, I believe he's about 21, 22 years old. Played for 22 years old. He's been a long-term target of the team for quite a while. Coach, tall guy, about 6'4", 6'5", can dribble really well, moves very well for somebody who is that height. But let me check out his goal numbers. How do you feel about that Sesko move to Arsenal?
I think he's a good player, but again, he's not the finished product. To be honest with you, I watched him severally in the Bundesliga.
So 33 matches. So 2022, 2023, 23-24 season, 31 games, 14 goals scored, 2 assists. 24-25, 33 matches played, 13 goals scored, 5 assists.
Yeah. So like I said, that was in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
He's not someone Arsenal need.
It is going to get even more difficult when he gets to the EPL.
Yep.
And for me, he's another learner. In fact, to be honest, let me talk for myself. I thought Arsenal would go for Gyökeres.
Same here.
I thought
Looks like teams are getting cold feet about Gyökeres.
No, it's not cold feet. It's what Amorim is doing. Look,
You think he will end up at United?
Yeah, definitely, because
I hear he and Amorim are in contact.
Yeah, we all knew where that boy career was. He was virtually dead and buried.
Yep. So Coventry.
Oh, coach, I don't.
Oh, but
his last season before he moved to Sporting Lisbon, he scored 18 goals in the championship. So you can say he's dead and buried.
Teams were looking at him.
If you're in Coventry, nobody's really looking.
No, but teams were looking at him. It's not like only Sporting came. It's not like
what
he was
I'm saying
struggling.
is that.
But he was not getting looked at by teams
that.
like United and Arsenal.
Oh, that one, yeah, definitely. But he wasn't. I was
If he had stayed
there,
there,
very fast.
You see, if he had stayed there,
Yeah.
I'm not sure any of the top teams will be looking at him. Amorim took him to Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah.
He's a proper number 9 now. Scores with ease. Proper Champions League striker.
Yeah.
Don't joke with him. And when you see him play in the big games,
Let me read the stats to you. 39 goals in 33 matches.
Yes.
7 assists.
yes, if you go to the Champions League, and the reason why I've loved him is the fact that even when Amorim left, he was still scoring goals. You understand? And to be honest, I thought Arsenal would go for him. And before the Europa Cup final,
He's 27 years old.
yes,
So he's just about even entering his prime.
this is his prime. He's not a learner on the job. That is why I'm happy Man United are showing proper intent. And I thought, look, if Arsenal were to go for him, I think he would pick Arsenal over United because of the Champions League football. No two ways about that. But surprisingly, Mikel Arteta,
He's dilly-dally.
and his pricing too is very reasonable.
In fact, it's a release clause. Pay the
65 million
money, pay the
euros
money
and let
and
him
take
go.
the player away.
Just go and activate it.
Yep.
Sesko is costing more money. And he's a huge risk.
Yep.
Why would you go after Sesko if you have a finished product, a striker who is there? We saw him in the Champions League. He was scoring against Bayern Munich, scoring against Man City, scoring against big teams. So at the end of the day, I thought Arsenal would have gone for him. Rather, they've chosen to go for Sesko. I think they have a lot to do to quickly get Sesko to, because they are thinking about win. Look, if Arteta doesn't win the league the next, they will sack him. I'm telling you, because look, the Arsenal faithful will not accept.
I think they've been overly patient with him.
The fact that,
and to buttress the points that coach said about Arteta needing to win next season or else he gets sacked, is because reports I am getting is that he's the one who is favoring Šeško over Gyökeres, and their sporting director Bertha is the one who is pushing for Gyökeres. So it's more or less like a power play, and they will have to figure out who will get the final word.
That is, Arteta has told the man that it's the job
on the line. So more or less, it's an Arteta pick.
So it's an Arteta pick. Is it a move I don't commit?
No, I don't
think so. But I will look at how he will want to use him. As for the boy, he's lively, he's entertaining, but he's not a natural finisher. When you watch the sort of goals that Gyökeres scores, you can see that this guy, apart from the fact that he can hold it up, he can pass,
he's a good coacher.
His awareness. Look, he reminds me of this guy, Edison Cavani, in his prime. Cavani's biggest weapon was his off-the-ball movement. You least expect him to be there. He's in front of you. He's putting it away.
Yeah.
So Šeško, I won't say I 100% don't come. I want to see how Arteta will use him. Like you rightly said, it's an Arteta pick. So let's see how it goes.
There's an update on the Osimhen saga. We are hearing his agreed personal terms with Al Hilal.
There you go. I just told you that.
So the next thing is the fee. There's a €5 million difference between what Napoli wants and what Al Hilal are ready to pay. This is the reports coming from.
And it looks like it will be done.
This is the reports coming from Italy. I believe Di Marzio has reported it. So,
and I hear in Zag, the former, he's the one pushing this. They want to take Osimhen to the World Club Championship.
Yeah, he's gone already.
He's gone. So they announced it.
I'm very, and that's why I'm very happy for him. Inter Milan were going to give him 40 million to rejuvenate the squad. How can you do that?
He's left to cash out.
Anyway, let's talk about a managerial don't call me, but this is a sacking don't call me. Ange Postecoglou is gone. Your good friend.
Oh, we thank God.
Charlie, Daniel leave.
I don't like the move, but I understand why they did it. I understand in the sense that prior to the Europa League, it was clear that they had decided that they will sack him, whether they win it or whether they lose it. And for me, that's a very decisive move. It's something that the Man United Ineos people should have done with Erik ten Hag, because he won the FA Cup and they dilly-dallied and they handed him contract extension. The next thing you know,
both in players.
The next thing you know, you're not comfortable with this guy after all. Then you sack him, bring in a new manager, chaos starts all over again. But with this, they've been very decisive, and already their potential replacement is known. They are either going in for Marco Silva of Fulham or going in for Thomas Frank of Brentford. And so clearly, you can clearly see that they had a plan all along. It's not something that was knee-jerk, off the cuff moment that they decided to just sack this guy. And maybe the reason why they did so is because of the things that Susu has said prior, that they need to manage their assets. They can't keep running down their assets into the ground the way Ange Postecoglou has done over the past 2 seasons, with injury crisis always happening in the middle of the season and costing them the chance to go to the Champions League and compete there, or potentially having a strong run to win the EPL title. And so, yeah, it's understandable, but it's a bit of a shock, but I understand why they did it. And the replacements that they are looking at, are equally good. And so, you are not losing much by sacking Ange Postecoglou.
They lost 21 or 22 games or whatever. Usually, if you lose that many games, you get relegated.
And this is team. He built this team. He's been there for 2 years.
And let's be honest, that Spurs team should be in the top 4 race. That's their level. And you managed to lose 20 games. Come on. I've been saying it, that sometimes you shouldn't let these knockout trophies make us forget that your consistency is shown in your 38 games. If you had even finished 10th, I wouldn't be feeling so strongly about this, because you can say, okay, injury crisis, so 10th is fine. 17th, come on. That is nowhere near good enough. So I'm glad they sacked him. Like, I thought that maybe the emotional high of winning your first trophy in 17 years might be able to save him and push him through. And to be fair, if he had been given the chance to manage in the Champions League, I would not begrudge Daniel Levy because it's like he has earned the right. He has put them there.
Yep.
So he's earned the right to coach them there. But truth be told, logically, analytically, he had to go.
Between
the only thing that was working for him was an emotional argument.
Yeah.
And clearly that's not worked. So
between Marco Silva, Thomas Frank, I'm even hearing De Zerbi, but that would require them to uproot them
from Marseille.
Frank will have to be uprooted from Brentford as well. But
almost all the coaches.
Yeah. Who would you hire? Silva, Frank, De Zerbi.
I'll go for Silva.
I think what they need is a coach that will make them play good football, but yet still make them very solid, compact. And because of that, I think I'll go for the Fulham manager. The man, Thomas Frank, what's the name?
Thomas Frank.
To be honest with you, his style of play, this Spurs team would not enjoy playing it.
Thank you.
Because he's too direct. They don't have those direct counter-attacking players. Yes, counter-attack because at times the Song and Co, they are quick. But I think Marco Silva, but it depends on what they want. I think De Zerbi is another good manager, but with him, defensively, he will not get them to be solid. And for a team that originally, within their DNA, like to concede
a lot of goals,
you want to stop that from happening. You want to give them the chance of being able to win football games by not scoring 2, 3, 4 goals every week, week in, week out. So if of the 3 managers that have been put out there, I think the one whose style could get them to be very solid and yet still entertain is Marco Silva.
I'll go for Marco Silva because you have to eliminate the options. And by eliminating the options, you look at someone like De Zerbi. His abrasive style, I don't think Daniel Levy will be comfortable with it. He's very abrasive on the pitch, off the pitch, very abrasive. Everywhere he goes, there's chaos that follows him some way somehow. And so I don't think he fits into that Spurs manager type of model. And we saw that with Jose Mourinho. He qualified them to the Carabao Cup final, and
he doesn't like such managers.
Exactly.
Mourinho, Antonio Conte.
Yes. Days before the final, he said with Jose Mourinho because he just does not fit into that model. Then you look at Thomas Frank, very direct, very all about. He does a lot of counter attacking, and when you look at the managers that Spurs have sacked over the years, a couple of them play that kind of style, and they weren't comfortable with it. That you can't counter attack your way to the Champions League or to a trophy, and they weren't comfortable with Nuno Espirito Santo, despite the fact that he started off on a very great note. As soon as a couple of losses came in, because of the discomfort that they have with him, they used it as an excuse and they sacked him. The same with Jose Mourinho. And so, if you look at the coaches options that they have, Marco Silva is the best, and he's a proven manager at the EPL level, and you can tell that once he gets an upgrade on the product that he's had at Fulham with Spurs, if he joins the Spurs project, I think he'll be able to make them a consistent threat in the Champions League one.
Let's talk about the Nations League. We have a final on our hands. It's Portugal versus Spain. They are trying to make
but currently, Lamine Yamal is the better player.
Been there, we don't compare. We as Ronaldo, we don't compare.
There's nothing to compare.
Been there,
There's
done
nothing
that.
to compare. Lamine Yamal finished 5th in Ballon d'Or voting last season.
We are playing in Saudi now.
Someone was not
we are playing in Saudi now. We don't care. Anyway, let me start off with you, coach. So big final on our hands. Lots of technical quality on display, and I want to give a shout out to Vitinha because after doing it with PSG, he got hold of that German midfield and completely manhandled them single-handedly, putting quite the performance. Where are you leaning? I know you're a Spain guy, but be objective with me and give me a tactical leaning on how this game goes. Who wins this game for you and why?
If Spain doesn't win, it will not be because Portugal was the better team. It will simply be that the chances that they will create, they will not put them away. Because look, take it or leave it. We watched them against France. It was when they were leading 5-1 and the coach decided that let me rest some of my boys. That was when if all of a sudden the French team thought they could make this a contest. But on Sunday, nobody's going to be rested. Everybody will stay in there for as long as he is needed. Having said that, this Portuguese team is also a very good team. But I think the over-reliance on Cristiano Ronaldo, who technically will not worry anybody in that Spain defense on the ball, but will rather be hoping that something will break loose for him to find himself there and put it away. At the end of the day,
can't he move around? Or you are trying to say his ball movement is not the same again?
It's not the same. His ball movement is definitely not the same.
That's actually the only thing he still has, to be honest.
Even that one is
because he's not as fast. That's why. But the movement is still there.
The movement is there. But look, I'm happy for one thing. Is it the Vitinha guy? He's a fantastic midfielder. He and the boy, his partner, Neves.
Yeah, João Neves.
Fantastic. I want to see them against Pedri and then Fabian Ruiz, and let's see how it goes. And Moreno and Co. I do believe that he will have a lot more work to do, because in that final against Inter Milan, once Dembele triggered the press, Inter Milan didn't have the technical players to hold on to the ball.
Nope.
But I can assure you one thing: on Sunday, no matter the press, Pedro will keep it. Ruiz will keep it. The Barcelona boys will keep it. If Omo is there, he will keep it. Lamine Yamal will not be faced by that press. They will take their time and then they'll pick the pass. It's going to be a game of technical showcase. I'm going to enjoy every bit of that game. But on the face of it, I think Roberto Martinez, who is the coach of Portugal, is still not coaching this Portuguese team to get them to maximize
their potential. How so?
I think it is good he's managing Cristiano Ronaldo, but in games like this, a decision will have to be made. But the decision to start Ronaldo and not get him to last.
Okay.
I will start him, but before the game, I'll make it very clear to him that you cannot last the entire, because you cannot allow the Spanish two centre backs to be very comfortable on the ball. And you need a younger player to hurry them, get them, at least to rush them when they are in possession. Can Ronaldo do that for 90 minutes? No, he can't. Because you see the Spanish team, everybody can pass the ball. Everybody can pass the ball. And everybody, they're all used to passing the ball under pressure. Has Ronaldo the legs to trigger the press in such a way that the rest of the Portuguese team can coordinate and anticipate and block the channels? No, they can't. Look at what the Spanish coach did against France. He played, what's the name? What is the name? Arabadaya. Oyazabal.
Oh no, he didn't just do that.
He played that guy as the false nine.
Yeah.
The reason why he played him there is to get him to rush Konate and Co of the French team, who we all know are not comfortable in possession. So anytime the French defenders had the ball and the press was triggered, properly anticipated, channels blocked, they were giving the ball back to the Spanish team, and they will calm themselves down because Mbappe will not press. Then they will pass the ball through them. And it's going to come down to that. It's because the moment you allow this Spanish team to give the ball to Simon, their goalkeeper, he picks up the pass. Then they start passing. Everybody start moving, dancing off the ball. Yamal, back, this. They will cut you open. They are so good. I mean, they are that good. I'm happy they are playing Portugal, because I think the Portuguese will give them a better.
I have a small boy for Yamal, so he has to be ready for my small boy.
No, as for that, the one at left back, Nuno Mendes. What is going to happen is that if he proves stubborn, Yamal will bring him into the middle, and Porro will take charge of that side. You understand? That is what he does.
Susu Graham's Pedro Porro.
You see, that's what he does. If you are overly concerned with him, if you are overly concerned with him, he's going to push you into the. And don't forget, Yamal is left-footed.
Yep.
and the Portuguese left back is also left-footed. So if Yamal is cutting onto his left foot, that is the Mendes' what? Unfavorable foot. Yeah. So it is going to be a very, very difficult game. I expect us to see class, but at the end of the day, I trust the European champions. I trust the defending champions of the Nations League. Like I said, if they were not to win, it will not be because Portugal will be the better team. It will be simply because they'll be unable to put away those chances. Go ask France. By the time they realized, they were already 5-0 down, 40, 3-0 first. Look, that is how good they are. And Lamy, at age 17, he walks the talk, isn't it?
He does, actually.
He talks. He said, let's get onto the pitch.
Very few young players
let's get onto the pitch.
Talk that much and actually back it up.
He said, let's go onto the pitch. The pitch will decide, and you see.
And to be fair, I feel the media doesn't help him in terms of when he says it. If you watch longer interviews, he said that the Ballon d'Or is like an award. It's decided by people. If you want it to be decided on Thursday, let's decide on. That's what he said.
Yes.
If you want it, but they came to say that he said let's decide it on Thursday.
He didn't say that.
He's not said that. But but you see, I realized something. He's mentioned something that when people criticize him and stuff, it fires him up.
Yeah.
He has that Michael Jordan thing in him that when he
you say I'm not good there, we'll see.
You are doubting me.
We'll see about that.
Didn't you see that he was trying to dribble Desiree Doué in the match because Desiree Doué was given the Champions League young player. And people started saying, and Desiree Doué is better than him.
No, he's never better than him. So look, I think it is Spain's to lose.
Prediction for that game. Let me just take predictions. Now read some messages.
If it goes to if it goes to form 3-1 Spain, because and the truth is not about the players. So if Portugal was well coached as Spain, I'd say it's a very close game. But Martinez, I don't believe he knows.
I definitely think on talent, Portugal have talent
just as much. But you see, I don't trust Martinez
on the system, on the coaching system. That is where
I don't trust Mark. Because how can you tell me that after seeing what Vitinha and João Neves did in the Champions League, you start Vitinha on the bench and you put João Neves at right back? Are you okay?
Well, as for the left-footed player, but I'm telling you that as when Mendes pocketed Salah,
I was about to say that.
Salah played 2 games against Nuno Mendes. He didn't sniff a shot on target.
Salah is not as skillful a dribbler as
that's
no. Yeah, about jail about touch point.
Cool down.
I'll give
the win to Spain. I'll give the win to Spain because I looking at the way they play out from the back and Cristiano Ronaldo's inability to track runs out from the back. Yeah, that would be that would hamper Portugal. That would hamper Portugal's ability to take the ball off Spain. And once you put you double up on the pressure on that Portuguese midfield with Lamine Yamal also pressing down the wings. I mean, it's going to force them to break down, and that's where I see they having cracks in that midfield and in the defense, and Spain getting the goal. So Spain win for me.
Let me read some YouTube comments. I'll get to some messages from my message box as well. This one here. People in the building, nice one. So a lot of chat about the Mbeumo transfer. This one here. This one here is from Jillian Joshua Court. He says, I can't wait for United to sign Mbeumo. Coach, Wakeleg Benomo. Ni Kwate for Taddy with that one. This one here says Ivan Toney still getting English call-ups no more, so don't do that.
Oh man, Ivan Toney.
Attire league.
This one here also says no more talk about Sesko to Arsenal. We spoke about him. I think we touched on that. This one here says that he's listening to us from Milwaukee. Okay, I think he's been getting into the show for a bit. I have somebody else also here from Philadelphia. This one here says that I'm happy Delap ended up at Chelsea. Would have been a disaster at United. This one also says Mbeumo is 35, disguised as 25. When the incredibilism shows up,
Jackson very 42.
Remind coach.
Nicola Jackson 42.
Someone that was born in France.
Don't mind them.
Mbeumo was born in France.
Don't do that.
Anyway, let me get some messages from the message box. Ojiri says, I'm following up with the question again. Will the Minister for Sports or not.
He's in London. He says he's storing
facilities.
Kofi Adams say honorable. No more. What are to buy?
Prince Harry from Govoidia said, good evening, Ben, and the entire Panorama team. Can't wait to hear coach's voice. More fire. This one is from somebody who didn't add it. I won't even read his message. No, I'll read his message. He's saying whatever he wants.
I won't read it. Right. Read the message.
He says what? Last week, did you say Chelsea have a midfield that cannot pass the ball? Are you saying Lipu was chasing midfielders who can't pass the ball? By the way, which of the Lipu midfielders had more goal involvements than Enzo? Are we doing this right now?
You compare even
that's why I said I'll read it.
Fourth and first.
Let's go on. Need Toto from Tema Newton says GPL, too many shenanigans, compromised games, poor attitude, promotion. Benjamin says Nketsia fine kemo numo nimli ake eke player say p agbena ye plema she amen noko. Okay. He says you finished with a lot of players back in the day.
Let me team supporter.
I'm sorry he's a Chelsea fan. This one here says Chelsea needs a ball holder like Hazard and one prolific striker to solve our problems. Hey teams. Coach is dropping the party bars. More messages. This one says Francis from Kamara says, wow, fantastic show. I love Citi FM. Coach has made our night. I'm listening with my wife. We are both ardent listeners. In Belmont to United, a fantastic signing it will be. Kudos to you, Nketsia, and the team. Team speak very good English. I love that. Anyway, Richmond from Ashaiman says, good evening, guys. Coach is at it again. We heard this for Sancho. We heard this for Anthony. We know what will happen when the
actually Sancho, actually many in Wembu ke Matthias Cunha, ke Victor Gyökeres.
Okay.
What can make be normal?
Anyway, let me just finish. Lamentin Dodo says, please, I have a question. If two teams qualify for a final, how is it determined who wears their home jersey or first choice jersey? Man United need a goalkeeper, else Onana will undo all their hard work as usual.
I want to say for a final, I believe that
Nobody is the draw. Whoever
someone is drawn at home.
At home, and the other one.
So when they are drawn at home, they have the first choice, I believe. And then the away team will get the second choice. I believe that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yep, that's it from us here. Really.
Oh, she no more. Me provide yet some two things. She only to Nations FC, Dr. Kwame Che and his people, whether they like it or not, they will have to play in the Ghana League. Ghana football is in the safest of hands, according to Dr. Kwame Che and Kennedy Boachi Ansa. When we were demonstrating in this country to tell them that the direction of our football was not right, Dr. Kwame Che went to the house of the Lord in church, wearing white, took the microphone and sounded like a prophetic pastor and somebody who is a prophet, saying that Ketu Kreku should remain and will remain as GFA president for life. Just some 2-3 decent slaps. You are saying you won't play. You play. You play what? When we were demonstrating of how bad our game is, Kennedy Boachi Ansa and some stomach journalists were organizing counter. You have the voice here. Play the voice for
on
Thursday. We were.
Hold on.
No, this is my voice.
Hold on.
Play the Dr. Kwame Che one in church.
Yes.
In white.
So they were doing praise and worship.
Milo. He said, "Get to continue to go until he says he's tired."
One wonderful things will happen in Ghana football.
This is Dr. Kwame Che.
You are not making this up. He says, in Ket's tenure, wonders will happen.
Essentially miracles.
Essentially, slapping is part of the essentially.
I don't like what this panel is doing. We are enjoying this man's downfall too much.
No, we are telling them the truth.
Too much.
In a very decent, sarcastic manner. We are telling them the truth. when we were saying the truth, you were hiding behind some favors. Dr. Kwame, one of the renowned businessmen in Ghana, the least you could have done for us at the time,
this very week, he says
was to support us.
He says that
to point out the rot in our football.
Coach, sorry, something not to stop you.
That's right.
Please, what do you get PhD in? Because they warned us that you don't have PhD right now. You don't.
Let me say, Dr. Kwame, that's his name.
Please, they warned us
Nobody
that
has disputed that.
they warned us that we should check people's
I know he's called
credentials.
Dr. Kwame. Those in charge of the accreditation, they go and check.
GTech.
You understand? And then Kennedy Boachiansa, renowned sports journalist in this country, you could put some so-called stomach journalists to Ghana and counter us.
They say the Ghana football was good.
It's in good hands.
They should have slapped you decently for you to see.
Don't do that.
That sarcastically.
No, don't do that.
Meanwhile, now come and bring your cloth and come and tie it to my cloth. And let's sing the same language.
Right, he says he has regretted putting his money in Ghana.
And to the Ghana Football Association, you are allowing the games to go on tomorrow. You are allowing the games to go on tomorrow without any final verdict on what happened last week. Sunday, without any final verdict. You just say, what a joke. Are you guys joking or you are jokers? How can you allow this to go on?
We should have had a verdict before the last.
Of course, exactly. You should have brought up the verdict. Is Nationality losing the point? Let us know. Is there going to be a replay? Let us know. Because it has an you see what they are saying that let's wait. If Nationality wins or if they were to draw and Gold Star after Gold Star has won the league, you don't play with people's emotions. No wonder Dr. Kwame, one of your stout supporters, is saying he regrets ever putting his money in football. You should be ashamed of yourself because of what is happening.
And that's our show for the night.
The most ambitious Barikali Stanla Shada.
Don't shake. I'm coming to you. Let me start off with you, y'all.
Yeah, big shout. This one is in-house.
Let's start with me.
You have a lot.
I have to come back.
Okay.
Please.
Please.
This one, Nketsia, is to one of our committed listeners. Charlie, he doesn't stay away from this show. He does not miss the show, not 1 second. Mr. Dennis Tutu of Eco Furniture. Of Eco Furniture.
Thank you.
And he's an added listener, like I said, of Sports Panorama. This is coming from Mrs. Ernestina Nambo. And she's saying that the young man should keep being the fine gentleman that he's always been. In fact, she's Mrs. Ernestina Nambong boss. Bossu, God bless you. Continue to be wonderful. Continue to be a very, very ardent listener of the show. I spoke to you during the week, and I must say, the commitment you've shown to this program, the least we can do is what I am doing now. That is the least we can do, is what I'm doing now. God will continue to bless you, Mr. Dennis Tutu of Eco Furniture, and to Mrs. Ernestina Nambon, God bless you for being a stout Manchester United supporter. In Wembo, Kunya, Jokeres, Okamefe Benomo, Chwa, no manya blau. Nice one.
Yeah, this shout is anyhow in-house shout. Big shout to Crystal Doku of our social media or new media. BTS Crystal, yes, on our new media desk. Big shouts to Fifi Anan, Ghana Weekend. He's a big fan of everything that the Sports Desk does.
Hard guy. And he shares a lot of our
a lot of our content. Yeah. Big shouts to Jerry Fifi, and he's a Chelsea fan too, by the way, and he was just enjoying that Conference League title win. And a big happy birthday to Father Nimo, Channel 1 editor, and a belated happy birthday to our dearest sister Shiba Araba Benin. Yeah, Shiba Araba Benin. Happy belated birthday
that's
to
my number one boss.
Very stubborn. That young lady.
One of my co-producers on CBS.
Very stubborn.
So yeah.
Mr. Graham, give me more
of
stuff.
course, just a shout out to our Muslim listeners. You know,
nice one.
They are celebrating their Eid, so enjoy yourselves. You know,
happy Eid to all of you guys, and I want to say happy birthday to Channel 1 TV.
Yeah, of course, it's very important.
We turned 7 this week.
It's very important.
So soon.
Yeah,
June 4.
Time is blowing by.
Yeah, honestly, and shout out to everyone in the company. Shout out to our bosses for giving us this opportunity.
Those who have left, those who have coming, those who are here.
Those who are coming, we are shouting you out. You don't know yet, but you are coming. We are shouting you out.
So big shout outs to, and then big shout outs to my good friend and brother Seidu Adamu.
Seidu Adamu.
Yes, sir.
No more HFU must stormy on a benincho.
Let me read it. It says Coach Nimley seems to have written a script on players rumored to join United. It's always the same. It's always the same. That's up to my bro.
Let me do this. I think there is an all-star game.
Yes.
That is coming up.
Dr. Ernest Grant?
Yes. Yeah, Dr. Ernest Grant.
The
back group. Look, this year is going to be better and bigger, and it's going to be held at the Legon Sports Stadium, and there are some spicy and juicy aspect to whatever is going to happen on that fateful day. And there are curtain raisers between the University of Ghana and UPS, and between the Showbiz All Stars versus Media 11. Media 11 will be featuring people like Benjamin Nketsia. Featuring people like Michael Odro. You see, these are top players. So come and see for yourself. We don't only sit here and talk. Top players. And you come and see Coach Nimley coaching that day.
You barely see a Rabona in Ghana. I will be giving you Rabonas for fun.
And the icing on the cake.
Don't tear your hamstring.
No. The man is fully fit. He's fit. He
goes to the gym.
Lasibi Cristiano.
Obawo. And the icing on the cake is the game itself between the northerners and then the southern part. This is being led by the player I call the controller, the best Ghanaian player in Europe, Thomas Partey, of course. Partey is in attendance, Kudus is in attendance, the local Benjamin Asari of Accra Sofo, the nation's #1 goalkeeper.
Asari is
Kwame Poku, you can name them, Nicholas Opoku and co. All the Afena Jan, Semenyo, all of them are coming to grace this occasion. The season is over. And by Dr. Ernest Granton, the time has come for us to bring our stars true to the people. Come and pay something small, just a token, and have the chance of watching Benjamin Nketsia, Nathan Kwao, Fentio Tahiru, Sosu, Coach Nimley. It's likely that I'm going to be coaching one of the sides, either the southern or the northern side. Maybe in my 3-piece, casting the mode of Inzaghi, the Inter Milan coach. That is my dress code for the day. On top of issues, throwing my hands left, right, center. Proper tactical display. Obawo, Numo. Everybody come to the Legon Sports Stadium. Minkwe, when is the date itself? Let me put out the time and the date there. We are being told that it is on Wednesday, the 18th of June at 4 p.m. GMT no more under floor light. By the time I've been an asun light, go mo fe ma wakwe ni min shafi wono. Twa no manya blawo.
And that's our show.
If I don't do this, I will die. On behalf of the people of Tumu, I've told you this is my plea. I will do this every week. What I saw in Tumu 2 weeks ago, to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Oh, Papa! I said Tumu is the largest maize producing constituency in Ghana. Because of that alone, they deserve a good road. The Tumu road leads all the way to Burkina Faso. That road can change the economic situation of the people of that area. They need proper roads, they need water, they need proper infrastructure, schools, to change the living conditions of the people there. Whether nobody has to, I've elected myself as an ambassador for the people of Tumu. I will speak for them. I will chart a genuine course. I'm even planning, hoping that I'll get the chance to meet His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. I'm not from Tumu. me gan for me injeli ingbe afeami she let the people of Tumu enjoy their fair share of the national cake. God bless you, your honorable and your excellency. I know once I've said it, Tumu will benefit from your leadership in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Still probably brought to us by Twisco, Blue Jinx Energy Drink, Royal Kingdom Estate, and Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. I am Benjamin Nketsia, head coach Christopher Nimley, Susu Graham, and Yao Jiminta. Studio hands from Desmond Nyako. Big shout outs to you guys for joining us on YouTube, and for those of you who joined us on radio, we appreciate the patience as well. The full show will be up on YouTube at Citi Sports GH. Just for those of you who missed it, and for those of you who want to listen again. Until then, keep your dial right here. Keep doing the listening.